Hey!
We did. Okay, we were a second behind. Welcome to another episode of Just Engage University podcast. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess-White, and my co-host.
I'm Yvette Valdenegro. So glad we're here. Today is going to be really a very fun day because who doesn't love the topic of travel?
Oh my God, we've all been wanting to talk about it, know about it, new guidelines, like what can we do, what can't we do. We were supposed to be in Jamaica, but we're not. So we're here talking to the queen of travel. So I'm super excited to bring her on. But before we do that, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my God, we're together.
Yeah,
We're not on
There's not screens,
nope.
but we're really together.
So we have decided that we are going to start podcasting together going forward. We just decided that today because people want to see us together. I think our dynamic is a lot better when we're together. So
I think that's in her head that people want to see us together, but that's okay. It's lovely and wonderful. And here we are.
And we're also excited to announce that we hired a podcast manager. So yes, we took that off of our plate. So starting next week, you will be able to see or actually listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play again, because you guys know we are hectic. We're in wedding season. We are loving hosting all of our couples, but it's been time for us to go onto our other platforms. So for all the 10,000 listeners that are out there, which there are, we have 10,000 listeners on our platform. We're coming back. Okay. I know it's been a year, but we're coming back. So without further ado, we are going to bring on the queen of travel, Shayla Northcutt. She is the owner of Northcutt Travel Agency. Hi, Shayla.
Hey.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here today.
Oh my God, we're excited. See, we have so many questions about travel. I'm like, people have been asking us all about wedding industry related questions, like what can you do in an event? What can't you do in an event? But when people ask me about honeymoons, travel, we have no idea. We are not the experts. And you have been traveling the last, I want to say 8-10 months.
I've actually been traveling since June of 2020. I didn't stop. I had to take one for the world, right?
Yes.
And get back out there and see what we could and couldn't do.
Which I think is going to be such a testimony to everybody listening, especially in the wedding industry, because I think it's been drilled in our heads. You can't travel, you can't go, you can't. So this is going to be so amazing just to hear how you can, because you did.
Yes. And before we get into that though, introduce yourself, let everybody know a little bit about your company, how long you guys have been in business, and we are going to uncover the biggest myth ever, that you don't need a travel agent, that travel agents are super expensive. They're not needed, just like wedding planners and coordinators aren't needed. I want you to kind of explain to our couples, to our listeners, to our viewers, why it's so important, especially now more than ever, to book a travel agent and what it is that they do. So give them some information.
Absolutely. So my name is Shayla Northcutt. I am the proud founder and owner of Northcutt Travel Agency. We have been in business since 2017. So we have over 30 agents around the U.S. and we have a full-time staff here in the office. So we are 24/7 personal concierge service to all of our guests, all of our clients, anybody that travels with us. We are here for you.
And so tell them what a travel agent does, because I know a lot of millennials that are like, what is a travel agent? What do they do?
Do you know I still get a call at least once a week saying, somebody said I needed a travel agent, but I didn't even know y'all still existed. So it is, and it's about me bringing the awareness out there that we're still here. What do? We help not only match you with the best vacation plans that you're needing based on what you want, what you need, what your budget is, and what you're actually looking for, because we've been there. And I'm speaking for Northcutt Travel Agency. We have been there. Me and my team have been over 400 resorts around the world, to over 60 countries. And this is all in the past 5 years. So we know, and we're up to date, up to speed on everything that's out there travel related. Now, when you come to us, I think this is the best way to explain it. People will come to us and be like, well, I can just book that online. Absolutely, you can. But if you do, what support do you have? If something goes wrong, if something happens, who are you calling? You're sitting on a 1-800 number. The people that don't know your name, they don't know who you're traveling with. They don't care who you're traveling with. They don't really know your situation. We here get to know you. We get to know you as the client. We build relationships. We're so proud to have so many reoccurring clients that come back to us and refer us. That's the best form of flattery. Another myth I will bust is here at Northcutt Travel Agency, we do not charge agency fees, meaning you can go ahead and book that online if you want to, but why wouldn't you come to me and say, hey, Shayla, I need you to book this for me. And then I probably have a special relationship with that hotel that I might be able to get you upgraded amenities, the transfer situations, those types of things. Also, you are charged nothing extra. These hotels, cruise lines, all of these suppliers actually pay us a commission because we're handling you on a one-to-one basis. You are not being penalized, charged. If nothing else, it's a perk for you. So it's a personal concierge service at no cost to you, because here at Northcutt Travel, we do not charge you extra agency fees at all.
Oh my God. Okay, you said so many things.
I know you did. And in my mind, I'm like, this is really parallel seriously to planning too, because everything you just said is the same thing that someone would tell me, like, why do I even need a planner? Same thing. Like, someone, I can guarantee you, someone's going to charge you more than they're going to charge me, or the connections I have, the discounts I can get you, the personal touch, all that. And I mean, I'll be honest with you. I am guilty. I am so guilty of not thinking agency first before online, because we're so conditioned to just Google. What can I do? And then you see something, you just book, instead of thinking what you just said. Why not have the personal touch? If it's truly going to be the same amount of money or even better, why would you not want someone who's, you literally just say, I would like you to handle this. Just give me my wonderful itinerary, show me when to show up, and I'm there.
And that's, I love that you said that about the pricing. You know, a lot of people will come to us and say, can you get us a better deal or the best deal? Well, by using us, you're already getting a better deal, number one. So there's that. You're already getting a better deal. But the better deal might not be in the numbers. If you're going to $10 me to death, I mean, that's not what we're about. We want to help you because you're going to get a better level of service through us. Like I said, we've been there. So we're going to tell you what restaurants to eat at, what our favorite tacos are. We're going to tell you what excursions to do. We're going to tell you all the protocols of getting in those countries, out of those countries, what tests to do, what tests not to do, if you can even go. Yeah. So those are the things that we bring to the table versus you sitting there. I'll tell you a little story why I started this company. I used to plan all of the travels for me, myself and my husband. I literally had spreadsheets, and I would take hours to plan these types of things. Well, I was a working, full-time working person. I didn't have that extra time to do all of those things. And then if I did them, I'm second guessing myself because I'm out there reading these reviews, right? But how many times do reviewers actually on hotels or resorts actually say, oh my gosh, that was the best resort ever? Usually it's something to complain about. So you want to know the real and what's really happening at these resorts and what it's really like. And that's what I'm here to bring it to you.
Yeah, you just hit. So for us in our industry, time is money. So when people want to go, most of our clients work full time. Most of our clients, some of them have 2 jobs. Both of them have jobs. So by hiring a wedding planner, you're already saving the time. So time equals money. And I think that's the same thing for you and to travel. Because I know when I booked our vacations, I can be online for 2 or 3 hours and I feel like I got nowhere. Like, I'm like, okay, my husband's like, so what are we doing? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I went down the rabbit hole. I'm like, oh my God, like, do we want to go there? Is it close to this? Because that's the other thing, experiences and excursions. Most people book travel and want experience and excursion. So once you book your hotel and your flight, now you have to do a whole nother search. And is it close to the hotel? What about transportation? Yeah. So I love this is needed more now than ever. I think we were trying to get you on last year and it was like, okay, not the right time. So let's go into the last, year, 14 months that you've been traveling. I know people want to talk about Europe. I think Europe right now is a hot destination. We've been hearing, oh my God, it's still closed down. Things aren't happening. My friend just got back from Spain and she's like, oh my God, things are happening. So you've been to Europe. Let's talk a little bit about that. Like, actually, why I'm not even going to I'm going to tell you to tell us what's hot. What do people want to go to? Where have you been? What's the new thing?
Yeah, and I love Europe. It has a special place in my heart. Don't get me wrong, I love Mexico and the Caribbean too, but Europe has a special place in my heart. I went 6 times in 2019 and had so much planned for 2020, and then the world shut down, right? And I was like, okay, when can I get back? When can I get back? So in April of this year, I went on my first European trip to Croatia. A hot place. It was really hot in 2019. And I had all of the stipulations of, is it going to be closed down? Am I going to have to wear a mask all the time? I mean, it was really kind of like, what pandemic? They were still all safe, clean, the hotels, all the protocols, the mask, as you enter in. But as walking around the streets, the shops, some of the shops would be like, wear your mask if you're in the shop. Others, it's a lot. Europe is a lot of outside. So you're outside in the outside cafes. You're walking around seeing the beautiful waterfalls. It was so easy. It was one of the best trips I've taken in my life. So Croatia is hot right now. It's kind of that place that people don't think about because it's a little bit more unknown than your more Italy, Greece, those popular places, but a destination that should be looked at for sure. I mean, it's just a stunning location. And I was actually blessed enough to do land from Zagreb all the way down to Split. I did like Hvar. I mean, I can name all of the beautiful places that I went to in a full week there in Croatia. So definitely
you're visiting, you're not just doing excursions, you're visiting hotels. So you're putting pretty much this on your list of recommendations when you go. Okay, let's talk about Turkey because we have it right here. I'm going to pull it up. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was 12 weeks ago. Okay. So Turkey. Yep. All right. I'm going to pull up some more pictures. Oh, wait, I want to talk about Greece. You were just there.
I was just in Greece in 6 weeks ago. So that's another really hot spot is Greece. Oh my gosh.
People want to go.
I can't even tell you everything there is about Greece in my experience, from Athens to Santorini to Mykonos to Rhodes. I mean, we had an amazing time. Again, it is knowing the protocols, knowing how to get over there, knowing what's safe, either doing land-based or cruise-based. It's both. You can do both, either or. It just depends on how you want to travel. And that's another thing that, as you put together these lists, I know people have a wandering heart in travel and they want to do the research, right? And I'm perfectly fine with that. Do all your research, but use me as a checks and balances to book with me. Say, Shayla, I have this whole plan laid out. This is exactly what I want to do. We want to book this through you. Will you look over it and tell me where I'm missing or what I'm missing, what I'm not doing right, what I am doing right? And that's another way. We want to be as hands-on or hands-off but we also want to be that safety net for you, if that makes sense. If something happens or something falls through that you can't do that vacation, you can't go on that vacation. Do you know how many hours in this office we spend on hold a day for clients? We could only imagine what the clientele out there are trying and having to do.
Oh no, I don't even want to think about that. So let's talk about protocols. I want to hear a little bit about this because we have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Europe. Let's talk about what are they requiring? What, can we get tested there? I tested to get
So every location is different in Europe. So I can't say a blanket statement. Again, that's the beauty of using a travel agent. I can't say that, this part of Europe is okay. So it's either vaccinations or testing or vaccinations only, and testing when you get there, testing to return, of course, to the U.S., having that vaccination card. So there's different protocols on different places and where you can go. There's no blanket statement to say that everywhere in Europe is open and you can go to.
And let me ask you this, because insurance is big right now, not just for flights, but for travel. So recommendations, insurance up 100% for everything, correct?
Absolutely. And that's another big thing about using us as your travel agent. We do offer you all of the travel insurance that you will need. And so many people before the pandemic were like, we don't need insurance. We're going to go on this trip. You never know what can happen. I hold an annual insurance policy and an extra policy every single time I travel because you never know what can happen. I've seen it all. I mean, you guys know. I mean, I have seen it all.
Yeah.
So you have to have that travel insurance. So many people are still taking their vacations and shifting them till later, or something happens and they're having to cancel. Do they get their money back? There's different types of insurances that you need in order to have that. And we actually outline all of those insurances policies to what you can and can't do here when you book with us.
Okay. I think that's important. We had this conversation actually with my parents because we're going to a wedding in Mexico City in November. And it's like, does insurance cover if we get COVID or if we can't come back? Like, do we get our flights reimbursed? Can we change our flights? So all of those things, this is why it's important before you even start thinking about travel to have a travel agent to answer all those questions. And then again, you're giving them the options of different types of insurance. And I'm sure, again, it's not a blanket statement. It's probably different for airlines as it is for hotels, as it is for experiences and excursions. Because if you're doing a 1 to 2 week vacation, you're going to have all of the above. So you're going to need insurance for all of the above, because if you can't make the trip, you're not going to be able to make anything else. Okay, go.
No, I was just going to say, okay, so in my head right now, I'm the only reason I want to ask you these questions is because I love it when people ask me the questions of the doubting Debbies that are out there, the ones, because I'm like, ooh, bring them on, because I want to give them the answer for their doubts. So I'm going to play Doubting Debbie. My question would be, you're saying resorts and really nice places, but for the traveler, someone like myself who wants to go, I want to experience the nice, but I also want to do the back roads. I want to do the hikes. I want to do things where the tourists are not, or I want to go hang out with the locals. Do you help with that type of stuff too?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we don't just recommend there's different types of plans. When I plan something, I either plan it either with a tour company saying, hey, I want you to go with this group of people, or we do private tours, or I say, hey, if you want a little bit of adventure, just go down to this area. There's a lot of nightlife. Check out this restaurant. They have a great band. Those are the different types of pointers that we can give them as well. And again, that's why we get to know the traveler one-on-one, because we want to know what they want to do and give them the options of a little bit of everything, because that's what makes it, I mean, we're not all in it. And this is our agency specifically. We want you to book the bulk with us, the air, the hotels, but we don't ask that you book every single tour with us. We actually encourage you not to book an excursion for every single day. We want you to get out and explore off the beaten path a little bit. We actually encourage those types of things. I always said, I didn't start this company to make money. I started this company to help travelers see the world, and that's what we still base our hearts on.
Well, I mean, I feel like it is exactly what a wedding planner brings to the wedding is what a travel agent brings to travel. You talked about cruises. I think that's also a big question right now. Cruises they're obviously happening. And are you seeing, I kind of feel like I've been hearing more people book them than they would before. Is that just something that's a preference, or is that just something that people, because they can have both travel and they can both be on the cruise and then also be on land? What are you seeing with cruises?
So, and I've been on 2 cruises in the past 3 months. So that's another big thing where I know, am I ever home? No. So, but one of them was the Mediterranean cruise in Greece, where I could go in and see everything all at once. And then one was right out here out of Galveston. So we do, like, people have been cruising forever, but now it's this new weird world that we're in. And what are the protocols? What is it like on the ship when you get on? Do you have to wear a mask all the time? Are there events going on? Can I still play at the casino? Yes, you can. So there's all these little things that you want to know about. And that's why we're going on these things. That's when we're exploring these things, because we want our travelers to feel comfortable calling us up and saying, Shayla, we want to book this cruise, but we want to know. Alaska, we just had some of our favorite clients come back from an Alaskan cruise. That's still happening. Alaska's opening up. They want their tourism back. You have to understand the impact that this had on the tourism around the world. So these ports of call, that these cruise ships go to, they're craving and wanting these people to come back. So they're doing the most safe protocol that they can in order to have travel start back again.
Ooh, I have a really good question.
Okay.
Don't get mad at me, but this is a good question. So here, one of the things that's really, really hard, whether you are a venue, a restaurant, or anybody in the service industry, catering companies, staffing right now is an issue. We actually went to somewhere and we spent money, but we noticed right away it was not as clean. There was not staff. And so now you're sitting there going, I'm paying for all this and there's no one really. So your experience is not the same. So we only know what we've seen lately. What is going on, say, like you just said, Alaska, or you want to take a cruise somewhere. How are they dealing with the staffing issues that seemingly seem like they're just locally here?
Is it just
So I'll speak on both of those. I'll speak resort wise and I'll speak on cruise wise, because that was a big issue. Cruise ships started off when they started selling at capacity levels. So they didn't start at a full ship, but you have to think the thousands of workers from all around the world that worked on these cruise ships, that were furloughed, that actually lived on these ships for months on end. Some of these crew members were on the ship 4 months before they even started selling guests, just to be acclimated, just to be ready to work. So cruise ships, I believe they're at full staff capacity. The entertainment staff, the bar staff, which I know well, everybody, I mean, they are in it, right? So that's not an issue. Let's talk about the resort side of things, because you have these hotels, you have these all-inclusives, you have all of these, and you're like, well, if I go, am I just going to be bored? No, ma'am, you're not. Their entertainment is up to par. You're still seeing it somewhere domestically where service is hurting, because we have a different system here for people and working, not working. I mean, it's hard to find people to work right now, but not in other countries. It's not. They're ready. They want to get back to work. They need to get back to work. So we're not seeing as much as that as we are here in the States.
Now, is cost of travel going up? Because I know cost of weddings is going up, the cost of product, the cost of food. So let's talk a little bit about that. Are you seeing, I mean, we've seen it not really, well, actually here, like Las Vegas was crazy to travel to, but yet Nashville, which we're going in 2 weeks, is not. So what are you seeing, like flights and hotels? Are you seeing an increase?
Absolutely. I mean, I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago.
We were at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, we're there at the same time. Yeah, absolutely. So the cost of travel is going up somewhat. It's supply and demand, right? Travel is always based up, and I get this question all the time. When, Shayla, is the best time to book your trip? Now, if you don't have it booked already, let's get it booked. Here at our travel agency, we can actually book 330 days out. Let me repeat that, 330 days out. That means we're already booking for next September.
She's like weddings. It's like weddings. You're literally
You're like a wedding planner.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. So if you don't, the vice president of my company made a little funny thing. Like, if you don't have your spring break travel already planned, you better be ready to fork out some money. I mean, it is what it is. We are seeing some deals here and there, and we do try to share those deals with people that follow us, of course. But we do want people to know, get that deposit down.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that people don't know about our industry and us. We're actually able to deposit down on trips. So sometimes air and hotel, it's $200 a person. Cruises is always different. It's usually $50 a person. Hotels only, it's $50 a person. So you're actually able to deposit on it and pay it out as long as it's far enough in advance. Okay. Yeah. If it's in the next 2 months, it's usually pay up front. But if it's for next summer, let's go ahead and get that deposit down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just like the wedding industry, that deposit, you lose the deposit if you change dates, or you can transfer it, or like,
no.
Date is like, say you want to do a cruise and it's $3,000 to the cruise, but then you go, oh my God, it has to be 2 weeks later. But now the price went up on that cruise from the first time that you booked it. Do you pay the difference, or is it like
your price is locked in as soon as you deposit? And if you deposit and you book with us and you get that insurance, because we will talk you into
Understood.
insurance. I'm so sorry, but we will.
Yeah.
You have that insurance policy on that. It's not going to cost you anything to move that vacation. You're gonna usually use the cost of your insurance if you have to move something that's air involved, and it'll be the difference of the cost of the booking at the time. Say you book a trip to Cancun for December, you have to move it to January, and we have to move it, then it's going to be whatever cost it is at the time we're moving it to and booking it. But all that money moves over that you've already paid, less the cost of insurance. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. See, I didn't even know about deposits. I had no idea.
Well, so anybody who's out there listening who's getting married, who's thinking about honeymoons, then it's yes, you can get the honeymoon, yes, get the insurance, and yes, you can change it if for some weird reason the world goes to poop again, then you can just go to a different date and still.
And you can pay it out.
And you can pay it out. Yeah.
Okay. See, we didn't know that. So I think one of my biggest questions is going to be, are you doing weddings? Are you doing destination weddings? Do you help clients with that?
Absolutely. I love. So, that's my thing. And what's so good about us doing destination weddings and honeymoons, of course, is we've seen these venues. Like, we've had eyes on these venues. You're talking about destination weddings. Usually you're talking about all-inclusive. So Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, those types of places, St. Lucia. We even have one coming up in St. Lucia. So those types of weddings, we've actually been to the venues. We have the pictures on our phones. We know the wedding coordinators. We know the people at the hotel. So if a bride comes to me and says, all right, this is my vision. This is what I want my wedding to look like. I'm immediately like, okay, let me look in my mental database and figure out the places that I know I'll match them with. Here you go. Here's your options. Here's your 3 options. Here's what you can get for it. That we take care of all of the accommodations. I even build them their wedding website so that they have all of their guests go straight on. They get to register their guests. They have everything right there. All the pricing, accommodations, flights. We handle everything.
Done destination weddings, and I tell you, it is, if you don't know the place and you don't know there are so many, what you can do, the restrictions, if you bring your own vendors, like the whole 9 yards.
Or it's not what it looks like online.
Yes. Okay. So we love that because we are seeing that there are people that are like, look, we do want to travel. We're not sure when. We do want to have a destination wedding again. But again, it's all those myths of like, oh, no one's doing those. Well, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen some pictures of people getting married recently. That's
we've booked 3 in the past 2 weeks. So yes, they are happening. And they're happening, and it's filling up for next year. So,
okay. So I know. So I get the calls. My phone call is, "Hey, thanks for calling Pop-Up Weddings. Can I help you?" Yes. So I was gonna get married. We were gonna do we were gonna do a venue, we were gonna do destination. We don't want to travel now because we heard if something happens, you have to be quarantined, and So maybe just speak to the fear around not traveling.
Absolutely. And I speak to my clients every day. They're like, well, we don't want to go and we don't want to be, quarantined, because you have to right now, as of today. And I have to always say that as of today, you have to test to get back into the US. So nobody wants to be stuck over there. And we've unfortunately had clients do that. But my biggest rule of thumb, usually you're in destination 3 to 4 days. If you're going on a longer vacation, then it might be 7 days, 7 to 10 days. Test before you go. Have that peace of mind. Yeah. It's so easy to get a test nowadays. You can order them online. Have it for peace of mind. Do that in-home test so that you can actually say, all right, I'm negative. Yeah. And honestly, if you test positive in those next 3 days in order to get back into the US, or 4 days, because you have to test 3 days before you return home. That's the earliest you can test to come home. So if you're in destination for 4 or 5 days, you're only in destination maybe 1 or 2 days before you're testing. If you're testing positive after you've just tested at home, girlfriend, let's go to Vegas, because you're on hot, let's go. So
and you've been traveling. So, we can ask you that, right? Have you had to stay anywhere? You've been traveling for the past 16 months. Have you had that problem?
I've been traveling. I I did. I mean, I had COVID, but I haven't ever been stuck out of the country. I had COVID at home last December. So, and I was down for the 2 weeks.
Traveling, and you've been going to so many places, and this hasn't happened to you. So it's like, I mean, I got it too, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I've been traveling. We've gone to like 4 or 5 places in the past year, and we haven't gotten it during travel. So I think it's also like being careful, being sanitary. We talk about, I mean, I know that we've been to venues and other places and on vacation, even in Las Vegas, and I'm going, okay, Las Vegas is still a mask mandate.
Yeah.
They still have sanitation stations in certain places. So we're still in a pandemic, and if we haven't learned by now how to stay sanitized and clean, then don't travel.
Yeah, and I'm not suppressing any, severity of any situation. It's just, it's something that we're going to have to live with. And you have to decide now, are you going to live? Or are you not? Like, that's just kind of the thing. Are you going to travel? Are you not? Are you still going to, it's those types of, I've chose to travel, and I've been lucky enough to stay safe this entire time. And it's not just little places I've traveled to. I mean, since January, I mean, I've been to Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Croatia. This is back to back to back to back. Yeah. It's not like I've stayed still at all. I'm in Disney again next week. So these are the types of things that I want to be able to show. And I will not say that I don't test myself. So before I go on a long haul, especially across the pond, I will definitely test, because I want to know, I want to be able to get back home to my family. Yeah. I don't want to be stuck over there. So I'm testing. I have my own at-home test kits so that I know I can be safe and get back home. It's a matter of being aware and taking different protocols nowadays.
Yeah. And hiring a travel agent so that you can
Yes.
go. So I feel like, oh my God, we can be on here for another 30 minutes. But
this has been so good.
I know that our viewers, our listeners are going to be like super excited for travel. I'm excited for travel. So a couple of things. I know you said the sooner the better. So if you're looking to start traveling like within now to the next year, go ahead and call you, get that travel booked. Is there a recommendation, like, other than that, than just how do you prefer? Like, do people call you? Do people book online?
Yeah. So again, I mean, I'm blessed enough to have a full staff here in the office, and we have over 30 travel agents. So it's not the lack of help that we have out there to help you. You can email me, Shayla@TravelNTA. You can call. We are 24/7 on this phone, 281-923-8413. Now, if it's 8:00 at night and it's not a travel emergency, I might say, hey, I will get with you tomorrow when I get in the office. But you can always reach out. Go to our website, northcuttravelagency.com. That's with 2 T's, Northcutt Travel Agency. So you can see all of the different things that we do, all of the different options that we offer. We have so many caring teammates that want to help you guys. So we're always there for you.
Well, so a few things. If you're watching us on YouTube, the website's already in the show notes, so you can go straight to the website. If you're watching us on Facebook, same thing. And then if you're watching us on the replay on Instagram, you're actually just going to go to the link in our bio, and you can get to Shayla straight from our link in bio, just because you can't put links in post on Instagram yet. I don't know why. So if you need a travel agent, you can get through this platform. But I wanted everybody to just know how easy it is to not have the fear of travel anymore. And really, again, more than ever, we say this in the wedding industry. If you weren't thinking about getting a wedding planner, like, this is not the time to do that. And same thing for travel. If you're thinking, oh, I can do this on my own, unless you want to spend endless hours of your time and lose money and time in your life, I hate to see someone get stuck. And we've heard some nightmare stories. Yeah. People not being able to go on vacations, me being one of them. Also, people not knowing the protocols and getting stuck in a country that they did not know, because, like you said, it's different from country to country. And then just the fear of not living life. I think we're at a point now where we do need to have these experiences. We do need to get out of the house. We need our sanity back. So we are so blessed that you are on today. Thank you so much.
So informative. And we're really going to blast this, because anyone that right now is in the wedding, is planning a wedding, wants to go and travel, and then B, anybody who just wants to travel at all. You were very informative, and thank you for answering those questions and being honest, because I think that's what people love. They want to know the truth, and you brought the truth today. So thank you for taking the time to just be honest and be real and share your love of travel with us.
Yes. And thank you for traveling during these times so that we know. I know the vacations that you've planned for us have been amazing. Like, I did not like Cabo until you picked that hotel for us, because it just wasn't my kind of place. And then we went there and I was like, oh my God, I would have never found that place online.
Right. And that's the things that we do. We listen. We listen and we try to curate towards our clients' needs, just like you guys do.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on. Again, if you're watching the replay, you can still ask questions. You can DM us. If you can't get to Shayla, you can get it in our link in our bio, and then you can go straight to her website from anywhere else that you're watching. So thank you all so much, and have a great afternoon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.